Alright, game 2 starts right now between AliFoRiA playing the orange Zerg against one playing the purple Protoss. Okay, so this time AliFoRiA is the Zerg, one was the Zerg last time, AliFoRiA was Terran. Right now one is Toss, and I think he's really happy with that. Protoss is his best race, and he's really good with that. So I expect a really nice game here. PvZ is always nice, a nice matchup. Lots of possibilities and yeah, twists in the plot, so to say. One is starting off with a pylon, and he'll most probably open up with an extra or even two nexus. We'll see. And nothing too crazy from AliFoRiA. He's starting off with a choke right now. And he's also sending his overlord to the middle of the map to see if he should expect any rushes. Sometimes the Protoss players go inside, go to the middle of the base and start mid-build rush right here. And if this is scouted in time, then it can mean an advantage, because mid-build in itself is really dangerous. Like, it's very hard to protect from that. But if it's scouted, then it means a lot. Like, you can just be prepared for that. But Ellie won't see any of that. He can be safe. And right now one has scouted him and starts off with a pylon right near the choke. This is also hard to fight. You really need to send or you really need to save up larvae for Zerglings, and then you have to send the drones immediately to be able to start choke. I mean, sorry, creep colonies. So if you start the creeps in time before the cannons are made, then you are in a good spot. And it seems that one was a bit late. He wasn't really focusing here. And okay, so it seems that he doesn't want to deal with that. He saw that the creeps were off, and he didn't want to go on with the cannons. So this is good for Ellie, and okay, he just sees this. Wow, okay, he wasn't really dealing with that. Anyway. Right, this is a bit unorthodox from Wuhan. So most of the times he just goes like one or two extra nexus and goes for a big macro game. But this time he made a quick cybernetics core, so he will most probably go for a fast drop, or at least fast reverse, to be able to break this choke. If this pylon survives here, then of course he will use that for proxy robo, which is a nice option. It's a good thing to do, because yeah, then reverse can easily go and start attacking, or yeah, can go and start to attack the choke faster. But right now the Lings are coming outside, and Ali is making sure that he won't be confined or nothing too cheesy is going outside of his base. And right now he will use these 4 Lings, and he's coming to make a scout in one's base. Alright, that's an interesting pylon placement. I'm not sure what he wants with that. Can still go for proxy robo. I mean, of course it will be not as proxy, so to say, like here, but yep. Okay, so he's making it there. I mean, yeah, it's just far away, and he could have just done it right in his base as well. But anyway, it was good, because AliFoRiA made a scout right here, and he didn't see the robo yet, which is good for one. And yep, but Problem is that AliFoRiA is opening up Hydrogen, which is quite normal by a Zerg player against Protoss. Okay, that was a nice drone slide. I also uploaded a YouTube video where I did the same, like with the drone. Yeah, glitching through the sunken. Anyway, yep, so opening up Hydra dams so early is fine. You just need like 6 or 7 Hydras with speed, and then you can shoot down the shuttles easily. That's the first step in the drop defense for of the Zerg player. And then after that he can just make some spore colonies and scourges and so on, but in the beginning of the game Hydras are a really good drop defense. Okay, soon we will find out whether one should play on the lottery, whether he will be lucky enough to dodge this Zergling and come with a shuttle when the Zergling is here. We'll find it out anytime soon. So he's just starting off another choke just to be safe for lurkers. And the Hydras are already kept in this place, which, well, it's alright. I mean, if the Overlords and the Zerglings spot the shuttle, then of course these Hydras can be microed or maneuvered correctly in time to be able to shoot down the shuttle. But you might also start the Hydras here or up here, yep, just to be safer. Okay, so the Protoss player really has to be successful with this first drop, because if he doesn't manage to make an harassment in the economy of the Zerg player, then he's in a huge trouble, because he invested a lot in this drop, and he didn't make gateways or make another extra nexus besides this one to get big and bigger. So if this drop is failing, then well, after that it's very hard for the Protoss player. In one video I mentioned that basically there are 3 or 4 phases again in a PvZ. First phase is always trying to break the choke, second phase is the drops, and the third, if the drop phase, if the second one is successful, then the third phase can be the finishing one, like going with the mass units and finishing the Zerg who is struggling with the economy. But if the drops are not successful, then the third phase is about making something cheesy, like if the drops do not work out, then you really have to go on with carriers, for example, to kill the main, or go on an arbitrary recall, or something really crazy, because just Protoss ground units are useless against Terran, against the Zerg who has survived the drop phase. Okay, so yeah, so one wasn't really lucky because the Zergling saw the drop, and the shuttle was just arriving when the link was here, and then of course the Hydras were able to easily shoot the shuttle. So this is a bit unfortunate for Evan, who really has to go now, and he might want to try dropping some more time, but if this thing is not successful, then he will need to go on with the cheesy stuff. Alright, Ali is just getting up a big choke. He starts focusing on double defense by spore colonies. So this is the phase of the game where the Zerg can feel comfortable. Like, he dropped the dodge, he has quite a good economy by now, and he's able to produce many drones. He can just make the choke and get it bigger, start the spore colonies right here and here to be even safer for drops, and yeah, it's a good thing to be in, or a good state to be in as a Zerg player, because the choke is protecting you against ground units. You have Hydras inside your base, so you are fine against further drops, And then you can just focus on getting more hatcheries, and then yep, just get maxed out and go for the bust. So yeah, it's a good thing. That's why, as I mentioned, Protoss players need something really crazy to break this state of the Zerg player, not to feel so safe. Right, more and more drones are being prepared for drop defense. So the problem is that after this time it becomes really hard for the Protoss player to drop, because out of the 3 races, the easiest. So to get the drop defense, the easiest is by the Zerg. So it's really easy to get drop defense as a Zerg player, because you have Spore Colonies, you have Hydras, you have Scourges, you can have Lurkers and Guardians right here as Ali has, and then they can shoot the Templars. So it's really easy. It's very hard to come inside with dropships, with Spores and Hydras and Scourges. But one is really devoted to that. He's really trying to go on with a huge drop. So this is also a viable option as a Protoss player. If you do not really want to go into phase 3 with cheesy stuff after the first failure of the drops, you can just try going on with a really huge drop, like 10 or 12 shuttles, being full with reavers and supported by Corsairs. If you send quite a few Corsairs, then you might have more chance to enter the base, but as I mentioned, it's a bit hard against Zerg, but we'll see how one is working out that, the drop. As regards upgrades, we have only 1 melee for 1 and 1 for AliFoRiA. Okay, he's just sending this Zealot right now just to find any units that can forecast the drop. Right, so this is the big drop coming right now. It's not as huge as I expected, or it should be, but still it might be a good option. The Hydras are shooting the Corsairs and the shuttles are able to come inside easily, but still the Spore Colonies did a great job, and only 2 of them survive. Okay, so this drop did not work out well, and the economy of AliFoRiA was not damaged at all. He didn't lose anything, and well, right now I think continuing the drops is not a good option. This is the phase of the game where you really have to find out something cheesy, something extraordinary, and yeah, do that, stick to that and try to do it. Must Templars, must Reavers, must Corsairs can be an option, but only ground units like Zealots and Goons are out of the question, so it's useless making them Defilers already, and then Plague is a good option against Protoss, because you can mix Swarm as well, but it's not really a good option because Protoss units have Protoss have lots of units who can fight Swarm. Zealots, Templars, Dark Templars, Reavers, Archons. I really like, except for Dragoons and Carriers, and some air units of course, but yeah, Swarm is always better against Terran. Okay, it seems that AliFoRiA is preparing for a big drop, supported by a Swarm, so he will use the Swarm right here against the cannons. It's good, it's really good. So Swarm against Protoss is always for cannons. Okay, that's really complex unit combo line, yeah, but one will be able to see that. Yep. Okay, he only sees the Devours that Oh god, okay. So he just sees the devourers and he might not suspect anything crazy. Okay, let's see. Hold on, just yep, he's just coming right now and using the guardians to shoot the cannons and the devourers to be able to protect the drop. And right now he's just coming with the overlords. He was a bit late with the devourers, but anyway, okay. So he's just coming inside and drops the defiler who managed to make a swarm, and then lurkers can be borrowed, so these lurkers cannot be damaged right now with the cannons or by the cannons right now, and he's using the lurkers and the hydras to go for the attack. He might be able to take down his nexus, which is really a huge problem for Ron. He's just trying to go on with the counter attack, but he doesn't really have anything right here, and the main was lost, so this is a big problem for him. Also, this swarm right here is a problem right now because he doesn't have melee units who could fight these lurkers and their swarm. So he's trying to come with the reavers anyways and try to attack. Carriers are out. This is the thing I mentioned. You need cheesy stuff like carriers in this phase of the game to be able to fight the units of the Zerg player. Well, I think okay, I really cannot see that, but if I'm not sure. Okay, it seems that there isn't a lurker right here. I thought there was one, but it seems there isn't, which would have meant the end of the river push, but the guardians reached the same effect, and they just stopped the rivers from coming closer. Okay, so Dark Templar is outside. He could find the lurkers on their swarm, but there is no observer from one end. He will be able to see the lurker. Okay, well, yeah, those Protoss players who are not prepared for drops can easily be killed, which I must say it's a normal thing, because in general, if your enemy is a Zerg, then you really don't suspect drops. I mean, Zerg players just drop rarely, and you don't really make drop defense against Zerg player. And even if you do, like a few cannons right here, they become useless once defilers drop, then swarm is made. Right, AliFoRiA is just coming with the Hydras, and he's trying to attack the base. He's shooting down some cannons, and the carriers will just soon come back. He really needs them to fight these Hydras and Guardians. Right, Corsairs are encountering the Devourers, but and huge storm is going off. That's a really nice one. But the carriers are badly needed. One is not really paying attention. Maybe he has really forgotten these units right here. Oh god, oh god. Okay, so it seems that he has forgotten his units right here, and doesn't know that he has lots of carriers. Okay, so now he has managed to find them, and then he will utilize these. But the problem is that this was too late, and more Hydras are pouring inside the base of him. And these Hydras will be able to shoot these interceptors. And if I am not mistaken, carriers without interceptors are not really able to fight the Hydras. Okay, so this game is quite over. One doesn't have eco, and he doesn't really have anything to fight these units. Warlords are all over the place, so he will be able to spot these Dark Templars, and the carriers are quite useless in this situation against these mass Hydras. That's it, GG.